response to the incessant kidnapping of students on campuses and schools across the northern states in Nigeria, the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) has issued a strong condemnation of the escalating attacks on schools and the mass abduction of students across the country, describing the situation as proof that Nigeria is now a nation under siege. Speaking at a press briefing, NANS National President, Comrade Olashola Oladoja, said there is no longer any doubt that Nigeria's internal security structure has failed in its most fundamental duty to protect the lives of citizens and secure learning environments for our children. The Safe School Initiative, despite enormous funding and repeated government commitments, has remained grossly ineffective. NANS calls on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to sack the CG of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, for the clear inefficiency of the Safe School Initiative under his watch, and sack the Inspector General of Police (IGP) for the broad internal security collapse that has emboldened terrorists to repeatedly target schools and abduct students without deterrence. They also demand investigation and accountability. In view of the Kebbi incident where terrorists struck minutes after military withdrawal, they therefore call on the National Security Advisor, the Minister of Defense, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the Chiefs of Army Staff to immediately set up a high-level investigation panel to uncover 1. Potential conspiracy or insider collaboration, 2. Security lapses and command failures. The Nigerian student community demands accountability, nothing less. NANS hereby gives the federal government and relevant security agencies 14 days ultimatum to ensure the safe rescue and return of all abducted students in Kebbi, Niger, and elsewhere, implement immediate restructuring of the Safe School Initiative. Failure to comply within this timeframe will leave the leadership of NANS with no choice but to commence nationwide civil disobedience, including shutdown of major highways and airports, peaceful mass demonstrations across the Federation. They can no longer stand by while terrorists destroy what remains of our education system.
There is no longer any doubt that Nigeria's internal security structure has failed in the most fundamental duty to protect the lives of citizens and secure learning environment for our children. The Safe School Initiative, despite enormous funding and repeated government commitments, has remained grossly ineffective. Too many schools have fallen to terrorists under circumstances that point to the poor coordination, intelligence failure, and leadership complacency. We also acknowledge the release of some of these students in Niger State, the way I stated earlier on, and all the 38 CAC church members of Eruku local government in Kwara that have been released yesterday. But accordingly, NANS call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to sack the Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps for the clear ineffectiveness of the Safe School Initiative under his watch, and sack the Inspector General of Police for the broad internal security collapse that has emboldened terrorists to repeatedly target school and adult students without deterrence. The failure of these offices to effectively coordinate intelligence, enforce preventive security, and protect defenseless students is unacceptable. Nigeria must stop rewarding incompetence in matter of life and national stability. We further demand investigation, accountability in view of the Kebbi incident, where terrorists struck minutes after military withdrawal. NANS is deeply concerned about the possibility of internal sabotage. We therefore call on the National Security Advisor, the Minister of Defense, the Chief of Army Staff, and Chief of Defense Staff to immediately set up a high level of investigation panel to uncover 1. The potential conspiracy or insider collaboration, security lapses, and command failure. 3rd, reason for repeated security withdrawal shortly before attack. And the 4th one, those responsible for exposing our students to danger. The Nigerian student community demand accountability, nothing less. NANS hereby give the federal government and relevant security agency 14 days to ensure the safe rescue and return of all abducted students in Kebbi State, Niger State, and elsewhere. Present a clear and very plan for securing school. Present a clear and variable plan for securing school nationwide. Implement immediate restructuring of the Safe School Initiative. Failure to comply within this time frame will leave the leadership of NANS with no choice but to commence nationwide civil disobedience, include shutdown of major highways and airports, peaceful mass demonstration across the Federation. We can no longer stand by while terrorists destroy what remains of our education system. The era of silence and tolerance is over. Conclusively, Nigeria is at a crossroads. The safety of students is not negotiable, and the future of our nation is at stake. Now stand united, resolute, and ready to defend the Nigerian student identity by dialogue if possible and by mass civil action if necessary. We mourn with the affected families, communities, and states. We demand justice and we declare unequivocally the student life matters and this nation must act accordingly.